Hi everyone. So on today's video, I don't really know how to start this because I've honestly been contemplating filming this video for so long, and not only have I been contemplating about it, every time I say I'm going to do it, I don't end up doing it because I'm so nervous and so, I guess, scared if I can film it. And I honestly think my videos do the best when I just get my phone out, talk to you guys like this, with no special lighting, like my makeup is not at its best, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people really do appreciate my videos the most when it's just natural, you know what I mean? Like, when I'm not trying my hardest with the best lighting and the best hair and the best makeup and all that shit. So for this video, because it does mean a lot to me, I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to be real. I'm going to talk on camera like I know I can, and I'm just going to go for it, you know what I mean? This video will probably be all over the place because I'm going to insert a lot of slides. I'm going to insert a lot of videos of me, and I'm just going to insert a lot of different things. So it's going to be all over the place, and I'm sorry. Number one most requested video of all time since I started YouTube. Knowing me is going to be really, really long, but it'll be really, really worth it. Sit back, order some pizza, girl, and I'm going to get really real with you guys, and I'm just going to fucking go for it. So I'm going to stop talking now, but yes, let's get to the point. I have had... I can't even say it. I have silicone injections, guys. The reason my body is the way it is because I have had silicone injections. My body is not real. Yeah. It's kind of like weird to admit on camera because, like, for some reason, I've always just felt like that just wasn't something I should talk about. I just always felt like it was no one's business. I felt like the injection part of it, I just should shut up, you know, because it is, first of all, it's illegal. Secondly, yeah, it is no one's business, you know, but as I was filming my last video, I had to stop. I basically just didn't want to do it anymore. I felt uninspired at that moment, and I felt for something as serious as this video, I need to be, like, fully there. It took a few days. I'm gonna start it all over again. I left off at the part as to why I didn't post the videos before and why I kept so silent on my procedures, basically. So basically, the number one reason as to why I never spoke out about this was because I didn't feel like I needed to, you know, and just personally, it's just not something you want to go around, you know, yelling that, hey, I have a fake ass, I did this, I did that, you know what I mean? There are some things that I do want to keep personal to myself. To be honest, the second and probably the biggest reason as to why I didn't really say anything was because I don't want to promote something that I know isn't safe. Let's be honest, the only videos out there about silicone injections are very negative videos about people dying, about people injecting tire solution, fucking oil, baby oil, car oil into their bodies and literally dying. I've seen them all. Literally, before I got this done, I've watched every video you could think of. Black market plastic surgery is not something I want to personally promote. You know what I mean? And that is why I kept silent on it, and it's easier for me to not talk about it than to go on camera and talk about it like it's a good thing, you know, because I did have a good experience. But it's much easier for me to avoid the questions and not talk about this on camera because, like I said, I don't want to promote anything that is illegal, first of all, and I don't want to promote anything that could potentially kill people. Obviously, I'm still alive. My body still looks fine. Everything's been fine. Regardless of my experience, I know that women have died because of this. I know people have died because of this, and I know people are dying and will die because of this. It really is not easy sitting here on camera by yourself, you know, sitting here on your phone, basically looking like, let's be honest, looking a fool as I stare into my phone and talk to myself, you know what I mean? And being a YouTuber and having the liberty and having the, I guess, the platform to do this is very liberating, but also very scary because I know the ripple effect it could potentially have on a lot of people. I may be talking to myself right now, but in the long run, I'm talking to thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people. And what I say right now matters, and what I say right now will affect people's lives. So I have to choose my words very carefully, and I have to choose my words I just don't want to fuck up, and I just don't want to do or say anything that could potentially ruin what people think about me and could potentially ruin anyone's lives. So I'm going to share this with you guys, and just know that in no way am I promoting this, in no way am I advocating this, and in no way am I telling you to go do it. Please do not message me, email me, anything. I'm not going to give anyone's information out. I'm not going to tell anyone where to do it, how to do it. You would just be wasting your time messaging me. That is the last thing I would do, and let's be honest, that is illegal. So I'm not willing to risk that for anyone. I'm basically going to tell you guys a series of events that happened. It's a very long story because this does roll out in years, but I'm going to try to say it as simple as I possibly can. I'm going to insert pictures of my befores, my afters, my durings. So I started transitioning in December of 2014. You know what, let me put my hair up for this, honey, because this is going to be a long video. I already know. So literally like 2-3 weeks after I got my boob job, that's when I started looking into silicone injection in like the underground world of transitioning. This is basically what you do. You know, you get your boob job, you get your injections, you do that thing. You could either do either or first, but that's basically what you do, you know, at least in the underground scene of, you know, the trans stuff. So the thing with my body is that I couldn't even walk out of my house without being clocked because of my body, the way it was shaped. I could not leave the house unless I had hip pads on. My body was basically like a V, shoulders, and then it went in. Guys' bodies literally go straight down. Girls go in and out. Mine literally went like this, like very Johnny Bravo, honey. Like I had just shoulders and then it went in. How do I explain this? Like you guys get it, right? Like my body didn't go straight down. My body went in. So my hips were actually smaller than even my waist. No matter what I did, no matter how many hormones I took, no matter how long I was on hormones, no matter how much fat I gained, no matter how thick I got, I would never have a passable body. It wasn't even in my road, in my nature. No matter what I did, I would never get there. You know what I mean? My only real option were silicone injections. Of course, I thought about getting a BBL, fat transfer, whatever it's called. But with me, I'm literally so skinny. Like I have no fat in my body. Like I cannot gain weight no matter what I do. You guys know this. So since I couldn't gain weight and no matter what hormones I took, there was no humanly possible way for me to have not only an hourglass figure, but even a passable figure. So literally, like I said, my body was like this, but with boobs now. So bitch, I fucking look like a fucking triangle with tits. Before, it was bad, but now it's even worse because I'm so top heavy now. When I took my clothes off, it looks so bad. And I remember I literally did not leave my house unless I had hip pads on. For those of you that didn't know, I wore hip pads for almost over a year and a half. And that's something I've never told anyone before. I've never been public about this. I've honestly been ashamed of this for so long. And I remember when it was happening, like in that moment, I was just so ashamed of myself. And I was so embarrassed of myself. And I never wore shorts. I never wore, like, everything that I would wear was so strategic because I basically had stockings that were covering from my knees all the way up to my hips. I would go to Michael's, buy literal, like, foam, cut it up, put it on my hips, wear stockings, like 3 stockings over it, literally sweat my life away, and literally I wore hip pads like a fucking drag queen for the first year and a half of my transition. It was such a grading moment in my life, but also such an unappreciative moment when I finally stopped wearing them, you know what I mean? But it was just my struggle and something that I had to work with. I just remember, like, literally getting ready and having to, like, literally, like, get ready and fucking look at myself in the mirror and just look at my body and just be so disgusted. It was just so degrading looking at myself with like boobs and like no fucking hips. But like I said, during those times when I started taking a following, I literally did that Marco show and I had it was so embarrassing because I remember being backstage begging him to let me go on stage with my hip pads on because I did not want to go out and embarrass myself because people didn't know the real tea. At that point, I already had 1 or 2 sessions. And the thing is, let me just jump to the tea. Sorry. I had a friend that lived in Florida who was a performer. I confided in my friend to, you know, basically give me her doctor's info so I could get it done as well. I had my first round of injections in August of 2015. And I think I had my last injections done in February of 2016. So in total, my injections actually took around 10 months, 8 months to 10 months, you know, almost a year, not really. I'll just get to the point. I'll tell you about the first time and then the last time. One of my friend's coworkers at the bar that she worked at was going to get her injections done that week that I was there. And, you know, I basically begged her to like, if I could go watch and if I could, you know, maybe possibly get them done as well. And my friend basically co-signed for me saying, you know, she's trustable, let her go. So I ended up going and I ended up watching her get them done, and I got them done the same day basically. And so here's a real team. Close your eyes and picture this. We're at my friend's house where I'm staying, and you know, she might be watching this, but I don't really give two fucks. But this lady comes, you know, trans woman, give or take, in her late 50s, very, very tall, maybe like around 6'5" or whatever. She looked very suspicious, and this is my first time meeting her. I had no idea who she was. She came in very suspicious of me. Like she didn't trust me or something. Like she came in like looking around the room. She came in asking a lot of questions. She had like a massage bed and she pulled it out, and I secretly did take pictures of the first session. And now insert the pictures as I talk so you guys can have like a visual representation of what I'm doing. And I'm on my stomach and she's basically telling me how it's gonna go. And at that moment, I'm literally like contemplating my life right there because I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying up for. All these thoughts are going through my head at that moment, and I don't know what the hell I'm honestly doing. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm risking my life for this. Is this worth it? Is like, what the hell am I doing? Like, all these thoughts are going in my head. Trust me, what you're thinking right now, I was thinking it at that moment too. I was just looking at my friend, looking at her body, and looking at like how she's not wearing hip pads, and looking at the pumper lady's body, and looking at like all the girls' bodies, and just thinking to myself like, girl, I have to do it. I have no choice. You know what I mean? Pictures I showed her of Kylie Jenner's body, and I was like, give me this. I want this. And she told me that, you know, that wouldn't happen overnight, that it's like, it's gonna take a few sessions to get there. She was just being so fucking suspicious. Like, this lady was just being so suspicious. Like, she did not trust me one bit, honey. Like, she was just very like she had like a jug bottle, basically, like almost think of it as like a milk carton, and the milk carton was basically, how do I say, like clear. She asked me how much I wanted. I told her I would give her $500, and $500 is basically like half a session, like a mini, like a little mini session. I didn't want to go like full session because I just didn't know what I was going to expect. I didn't know what the hell they were gonna do, and I didn't know like, what if it killed me, girl, you know? So I'd rather have a little bit for the real doctors to take out in case I am, you know, gonna die or something. Like I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was just thinking that if I do a little bit, like, I'll see how my body reacts to it, and etc, etc. Basically does half of one of the milk cartons. So this lady had basically like 50 syringes, right? And not every syringe had a needle, but she would basically like got into the milk carton, got the syringe, put the syringe over here, went like that, put it over here, went like that, put it over here. So she had them all ready for me, basically. She had me lay down. I didn't pay much attention to this first session because, like I said, I was just going through it. I was literally crying boots. I was just very much like emotional at that moment, and I did like, I knew what I was risking. You know, I was risking my fucking life. So like I said, I'm in Florida. I'm not in my own house. I'm in my friend's house. I'm in a massage bed, basically. My eyes are closed, and just so you guys know, they didn't numb me, they didn't prepare me for anything. I never took any pills, I never did anything. It just happened like a regular fucking day, you know what I mean? I know I'm talking so fucking much, but I want you guys to get a good visual representation of what's going on. And I'm like closing my eyes, right? And she starts, girl. When I tell you, this was the most excruciating pain of my entire existence. I have felt so much pain. I have been through so much fucking pain, but that was the most painful experience of my fucking life. I thought my body was on fire. I could literally feel, the needle was so fucking long and thick. I could feel it go inside of me. And the moment it went inside, my whole body would tingle, and she would say, don't move, don't move, don't move. And I'm just like, and like, dude, I knew if I fucking moved and that needle touched one of my veins, I would literally just die. Like, there wouldn't be like an hour or two. No, I dropped dead. You know what I mean? And like, I was fucking like, dude, I was gagged, honey. Oh my God. Okay, so you literally feel it get pumped into you. Like, it feels so much pressure. The way I could explain it is you can literally feel every nerve in your body pop, 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 and like you could feel your heartbeat as it's happening, and you can literally feel an immense amount of pressure. Like, it may be a needle, but you just feel like solid pressure, like you're being punched with pressure. And it was the weirdest feeling. Like, if you ever had a shot, it felt like a shot, but normally when you get a shot, it disintegrates in your body. That wasn't disintegrating. That was basically, you could feel your body expand. Like, I could literally feel my nerves expanding, my body expanding as it was happening. And just, I could feel like it's just excruciating amount of pain. I remember like praying to God during my first session, and I remember just praying to God, like begging him to let me live. And oh my God, here we go, bitch. I'm fucking crying again. Imagine wanting to feel whole so fucking badly, and imagine wanting to feel normal so fucking badly that you're willing to fly to a different state and let some random person you never heard of, you don't know, come at your friend's house and literally inject you with something you have no idea what it is. Like, imagine and going through that pain and feeling your body just become numb. Like, imagine wanting to be a woman that fucking badly. If anyone's ever doubted me before this, doubted my commitment, just know that if you're willing to fucking die for a cause, it must mean a shit ton to you. At that moment, I was willing to do anything to feel like myself. I was willing to do anything to feel comfortable and confident, to feel like a woman, to feel one step closer to my transition being done. I was willing to do anything to feel normal. So from what I remember, that session took maybe an hour to 2 hours, and I paid her right after. And I remember, like I said, this first lady, I remember she was so fucking suspicious. Literally after I paid her, the moment I got up, when I got up, I literally felt the weight. I felt my body be so much heavier, and I couldn't even fucking walk. It just felt so weird. And I remember going to the restroom just throwing up, and I just was having a fucking moment, girl. Right before that, I had watched the Tyrant show about this girl getting her injections done and her literally running to the hospital, dying. Like, oh, I was just so paranoid and so nervous and so like gagged. She got up, she cleaned everything up. She literally got everything from like the trash. Like, she literally like had a trash bag with her, and she threw all the needles in there. She threw all the stuff in there, and she took the trash with her. And she never gave me her number. She never did anything like that. She literally just rushed out, and I never saw her ever again. And like it was creepy boots. When she left, I remember just throwing up. I started having like panic attacks. I just didn't know what the hell was gonna happen, you know. And I looked in the mirror, and the results were very like, I mean, there were instant results. It was very like obvious that like something was just done. And by the way, so basically after they inject you, they close the injection site with super glue. They basically use crazy glue to seal the wound. I had crazy glue all over, and with cotton balls. So it was crazy glue and cotton balls. They would pull the needle out, then as you were bleeding, so the silicone wouldn't come out, they would literally close it with crazy glue. After the first session, I did notice the results, and I looked in the mirror, and it was very minimal, but I knew that I had to basically go back for more because it didn't really make a difference hip-wise, because I still had to wear my hip pads. But it was a step in the right direction, if that made sense. And after that, I found someone in Los Angeles who did it. And this person was way more trustable, way more reliable. Because by then I had made more friends and I had asked around more. And I basically did my research better. She's had it done for over 20 years. So it's been in her body for over 20 years. I ended up having around 6 more sessions with her. After my 4th session, I finally was able to like throw my hip pads away. So like the first time I met this girl, she really like went in. I gave her $1,500. She gave me 3 times as much as she would normally do. So we went in. You know, the second time that I did it, like I saw a major fucking difference. The thing with me is that my skin is so tight, and my legs were so tiny, and my hips were so tiny that I didn't really have much to work with. If you get a balloon, and let's pretend it's like a baby balloon, one of those baby balloons, no matter how much you fill that baby balloon up with water, at one point the baby balloons will pop. So that was basically me. It was a little balloon. I remember the day I was finally able to get rid of those fucking hip pads. I was so happy. I could not stop crying. I couldn't stop thanking her. Like, I was literally thanking her so much. And I was just so happy because she really did change my life in such a positive fucking way. You know, guys, I feel so fucking fucked up because right now I'm literally praising this and I'm making it seem like it's so good, but I'll get to the fucking bad point. As I was literally having such a good and positive experience with this, and as my friends saw my body literally change, you know, before their eyes, they were all basically convinced that they needed it too. At one point in my transition, I did have, you know, trans kids, and I was basically the mother. And as crazy as it sounds, I would have my friends come over and we would literally all get pumped together in my apartment. Boom, 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 done. Then her turn, boom, 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 done. Then my turn, boom, boom, boom. And I regret it because even though they had a good experience as well, I know that eventually everything good has its end. You know what I mean? We will always be bonded for life because we have the same poison in our bodies. And that sounds so fucked up. You know when you don't do your homework and you feel so dumb because you're like, fuck, I didn't do my homework. But then you find out your best friend who sits right next to you didn't do their homework as well. Then you feel a little bit better because you both didn't do your homework. So if anything happens, at least you both go down together. I did in a way get greedy because I wasn't just wanting to be passable. I wanted to have a really nice body, so I kept going, you know? And maybe that's why my friends got addicted as well, and maybe that's why this is so addicting. But you see yourself not only become passable, but become the freaking perfect idea of what you want to look like. After the first time, I remember the second time was easier, the third time was easier, and then at the fourth or fifth time, it became a hobby and a habit. But as it sounds, I became an expert at it, and I just... yeah, I don't really have like a big butt or anything. I do have hips, but I don't really have a butt. They did have to insert the needle through my butt to get to my hips because they would move the needle around, but I never really got any work done on my butt. I did always want to go back to get the butt done, but I know that my thighs aren't big enough to handle a big butt, so that's just not something I wanted to do. But anyway, I just really wanted to have a pretty just skinny model body, and that's kind of what I think I have now. I kind of in between, like, you know, Kendall Jenner and Kylie Jenner. I'm not exactly Kylie Jenner level yet, but I'm not as thin as Kendall Jenner, if that makes sense. I'm somewhere in the middle. And I have hips, but I don't really have a big butt. And yeah, and I think that's what keeps it looking natural. I don't plan on getting any more done. It's been over 2 years since I've had any silicone done. Now that I'm older and have had way more than 2 years to basically reflect on all this that I did and all my mistakes and stuff, I don't regret anything, but I definitely will not do it again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not willing to risk my life for a nicer body. At this point, I'm just going to work out if I want to improve my body anymore, but I'm definitely not willing to risk my life just to look better. Back then, it was a different story, you know what I mean? But I'm a changed woman, so I'm trying to think of any questions that you guys might have. Honestly, no one can really clock it. You can't really feel it. It feels just like skin would feel. You can't really tell the difference. You can't really feel a difference. I personally can't feel it. It feels like my own body. How do I put it? It just feels like it's part of you. What else? Have I had any pain? I really don't know how to answer the pain question because I don't know. I honestly don't know, because sometimes I do get pain in my butt or my lower back or in my legs, and sometimes I'm like, is it because of the silicone, or is it just because I'm tired? Or do my legs hurt because I walk too much? Or do my legs hurt because the silicone is dripping? Or does my butt hurt because I was sitting down all day? Or does my butt hurt because of the silicone? Like, sometimes that does get to me, and I do question these things. And it is scary sometimes to think about, but I try to like not really think about it that much, and I try to ignore it sometimes, to be honest. And maybe it could be, or maybe it can't be. I don't know. But it's not something that is painful enough to bug me, if that makes sense. If I ever get boob pain, is it because of my boob job, or is it just because I have boob pain? You know what I mean? Because I had boob pain before, so now that I have a boob job, does it mean it's because of it? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, I mean, regardless, that's not something you want to live with, and that is the risk that I took back then, was basically this, you know, live with the what ifs and live with the, oh my god, is it because of this or because of that? Like, that's something that I'm living with now because of the choices that I made when I was younger. So after I was done with my hips, I started to get into my thighs because I really wanted to get a little bit thicker thighs. And after my first session, I realized that I was literally signing up for 6 more sessions basically, because I realized that like the thighs are a lot bigger space than the butt or the hip. And that's when I realized, oh my god, I'm becoming addicted, and if I don't stop now, I'm gonna keep fucking going and this will never be over. You know what I mean? I'm already risking 1 body part, let's not risk 2. So like I did do 1 session on my thighs, but that's when I said I'm done, no mas. And I haven't done it ever since. It may be unfinished, but I feel like I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I could always go back, but at this point the thighs are something I could just work out. And honestly, they've gotten bigger with time, and I'm good. So in conclusion, I just went on my notes app and I did write a few notes of what I wanted to say, and I forgot to mention a few things, so I want to mention them now. I did have 2 big scares during my silicone journey. I remember one time I was with my friend who had it done as well. The lady literally tells you, stay home, put pillows under your thighs, and literally just let it rest. She gave us very specific instructions to stay home and not, you know, really risk doing anything stupid. We were just so excited to show our bodies off. Literally, as we're walking out of my house in full heels, in full makeup, literally in fucking dresses. This is so stupid. My dress was one of those thin fucking Fashion Nova dresses that was just super thin, and you could literally see through my dress, like the bumps of the glue with the cotton balls basically. So you could just see like a little bit of like indents. And as we were getting into the club, she's like, girl, you could see your indents, but you could see the little cotton balls. I literally pulled my dress up before we went into the club, got the cotton balls and just ripped them out, and then put my dress back on. I was like, yeah, it should be good by now, you know? Bitch, when I tell you, as I was literally like in the club, like just walking around, minding my own business, I could literally feel drip, like dripping out. Like I could literally feel the open wounds. I looked down and I'm literally leaking silicone, girl. Like, oh my god, it was so bad. Other thing that was very scary. Long ass video, I know. You're supposed to stay home and for like a good day or 2 and just like not move, just stay in bed, not really do much, you know, just like not put your body through too much stress, you know, as your body gets used to the foreign substance that was basically shoved inside of it. I had a flight to Thailand, and I thought my flight was like a week afterwards, but it ended up being the day after I got my silicone injections done. And when I tell you that I went on like a 16-hour plane ride to fucking Thailand after freshly getting pumped, oh my god. Girl, when I landed, my body was so fucking stiff. I literally could not move. Couldn't move my legs. I couldn't move my thighs. I was paralyzed from the waist down, and I was so fucking scared. I started calling everyone. I called my pumper. I called my friends. I called my parents. I was saying goodbye and everything. I was in a different freaking country, and I was paralyzed. Like, I literally could not even step out of my seat. I literally could not move. Like... I was in Thailand for maybe 3 days paralyzed. But yeah, it's definitely a story for another video. So I think that's all the questions that I'm assuming people might have. That's basically my experience with silicone injections. I necessarily didn't lie to people, but I also didn't say the truth. You know what I mean? So I'm still gonna apologize, because you guys know I'm 100% honest. I'm literally sitting here with no fucking beauty lights and just being straight up with people. I'm trying something new here, and I'm just really just trying to be straight up with people, and I do not have to talk about this. Remember this, guys. I don't have to talk about this. I don't have to expose myself. Please, please, please feel free to comment down below any questions you guys may have regarding silicone injections, regarding my journey, how I am, how I feel, just anything that I may have missed during this video. Please make sure to comment it, because it's an open discussion, you know? At the end of the day, I got it done. I cannot go back. I know a lot of people that have had negative experiences, and I know a lot of people that have had positive experiences, so it really does go both ways. But the only difference here is that no one talks about it on YouTube. Before anyone comes and schools me, just know I know the risk that I took. It may be good now, it may not be good tomorrow, or the next day, or next week, or next year, next month, whatever. In 10 years, in 5 years, it may not be good one day, you know? And that's the risk that I personally took. And that's something that will eat me up forever inside for the rest of my life. That's something that I have to live with. And that is why I don't recommend it to you, or you. That is why I kept all this to myself for so long. I'm coming out with it now because I want to be honest with you guys, but in no way, shape, or form am I recommending it. Am I telling you to do it? Am I even saying it's a good experience? Because it may have been a positive physical experience, but who is to say that it was a positive inner experience? I don't know what my fucking insides look like. The outside may look good, but I have no idea what the inside is. And it's kind of crazy to admit this, not only on camera, but to myself. But if you think about it, everything good comes with its end. And one day, one day this will probably kill me, you know? And the fact that I'm saying this out loud, and the fact that I'm saying this on camera, makes it that much more real. But that's the truth. I don't want anyone to feel sad for me. I don't want any sympathy. I don't want anyone to feel any kind of way. But just know that that's the risk that I took, because it's not fucking worth it, guys. It's not worth it. For me, it's too late to go back. What's done is done, and I have to deal with the consequences. And I'm going to say this one more time. I'm not making a single dollar out of this video. The only thing I'm getting from this video is just informing you guys, and that's good enough for me. But just know, guys, I don't have to do this. I'm not getting paid to do this. YouTube will literally hide my video. And if for any reason this video does get deleted off of YouTube, feel free to make response videos and talk about it. Anyway, guys, I will say one more time, I'm not advocating this at all. I'm not supporting this at all. I'm just letting you know my personal experience. And I hope that me coming forward with having black market plastic surgery, more YouTubers or more people in the industry do come forward and admit to having it done, so there isn't such a strong taboo against or in support of it. I just don't want to be scared, and I don't want anyone else to be scared. And to be honest, it just really hurt me the past few years telling you guys, literally ignore questions about my hips, or having to literally tell people that it's achievable with hormones, or it's achievable with waist trainers. It's all fucking bullshit. Done bullshitting people. I am done holding back. I will literally go to bed better at night knowing that I was honest than not admitting to my mistakes. I love you guys so fucking much, and I hope that you guys understand why I am not pumping out videos every other week, or why I'm not, I guess, entirely committed to this right now, because it takes a lot to do this, and I have to do what makes me happy. And stuff like this, stuff that can potentially make a difference, is what makes me happy. I'm literally happier sitting here in my dirtiest room with 8-hour-old makeup, talking about something that's real and something that really means a lot to me, something that I'm really passionate about, than trying out makeup or doing something stupid for views. You know what I mean? Like, this is what makes me happy, and I hope that you guys enjoy stuff like this, because I can definitely do this more often, and I'm definitely ready to answer all the big questions, and I just want to fucking help people. I really do hope you guys can sense the sincerity in me, and can sense that I'm being 100% real with you guys. I am me, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys understand me, and I hope you guys get me, because not a lot of people do, but I know my viewers do. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.